Good afternoon. This is Mr. Thomas Kilbasinski, the Thomas Kilbasinski Podcast Show. Solid doctoral rating over the first 4 weeks. We got some movie. We're still waiting to hear back from the film companies. We got some jealous haters within some workplaces that don't talk to us, but that's okay. That's beyond the fact. It happens. It's life. You got people that ignore you when you're doing well. And that is all it is to it. So, you know what? I mean, my time is going to come. My time is gonna come. I have 4 degrees to half these teachers that are 2 to 3 degrees at most. And the support is overwhelming with references from different schools and different companies that I've worked for. So, in their face. And plus, I got a hell of a girlfriend. So, in their face there too. I haven't had one complaint in 5 years here in Philadelphia, except for a couple of people that just like to run their mouth and complain and hear themselves bitch. Okay? So, I am a completely frustrated situation where certain people just, in higher levels of their job, can't complete simple functional things. Which does not make no sense. So it's pretty much the school system pretty much flunking out on them and letting them do whatever the kids want them to do. There is no discipline, and that is the terrible part of this thing. And I got to just say this. I'm going to have a book that's going to be in a movie here soon where I'm very confident about it. I have my podcast show. Once that hits in the break, it's 250. Mr. Dr. Dan, watch out. You might have interviewed me a couple of years ago, but sky is the limit. Nothing is going to stand in this guy's way of $150,000. I got a hell of a hot girlfriend, and people can sit there and make fun of me all they want and say whatever they want because you belittle people. You're just not that good, are you, really? You're only good at knocking other people down. Where's their education at? 500, 600 credits? Oh, yeah, that's right. You're down in the dumpster looking for something, aren't you? All I got to say at this point in time is that Philadelphia is marking on the list of moving out. Unless I can find something that is more of the reading part of it. That's getting the city jobs. Getting the jobs that I want. Maybe more like a remote position where I'll be happier at. Because this substitute teaching stuff, I'm telling you what, is getting a little bit out of hand with the schools not setting the subs up very good at all. You have to give kids work or they're not going to stay in the classroom. I don't know how many times it's just one of those things where you're doing your diligent duty to show up to a job and they don't do what they're supposed to do. I guess this is just a generation of kids playing on their phone and doing whatever they want. And that's it. No disciplinary action at all. And yeah, I get it. There's shortage of teachers, but you got to think with a brain too. I'm not going to mention any names on that one. It's just funny when everywhere you go to the schools, some of the schools are really, really good. Charter schools here are not good. I would not recommend them to a freaking farmhand. I'm going to get so heavily constructively criticism with this. It's going to be a newspaper article. Because what I see at the schools here is they don't try to improve people's education. They try to make it worse. You got people with vapes. You got people that don't know how to talk real language, don't even know how to spell washer, let alone wash. It's just one of those things. I run a tutor and teaching business, and I do it pretty darn good. And what frustrates me is when you put all this out there, with all the success that I've had, from being homeless from worst to first, to making a $600 a month car payment. And this car has gotten me a lot. I'm thanking God for that one. So thanking God for the woman I met as well. And for the ones that just want to blow people off because they can't listen, kiss my ass. Okay? Because if you don't want to listen, you think that you don't want to listen at all. When I have years of experience in the classroom, there's something wrong with that. There is absolutely something wrong with that. And I have every right to say what I have to say about this. You just let things keep on happening. The same thing over and over again. The pay is not as good as it should be. And that's one of those things in the world here where, hey, you gotta pay your teachers. You have to pay your substitutes. It is not that hard to do. Stop running into shortcuts that you can't help. Some of us spent $50,000 to $100,000, even $200,000 for our education. And back then there was discipline. Back then they knew how to handle the classrooms. Back then, when you called for help, people backed you up. Oh, duh, I don't know what to do. We'll just let this go and just make it worse. Yeah, there we go. So, the thing is, I'm not going to be playing dumb and stupid anymore. Okay? First of all, reports will be filed. That's it. That's just all it is to it. If schools can't follow guidelines where I'm at, that's it. That's done. I am a certified tutor teacher, CEO of my company, and CEO of other companies that I've had over 26 years. And this is by far the worst environment I've ever been in when it comes to people not wanting to listen and at least be open-minded. Oh, he's just a sub. You know what? Get a life. You know, I enjoyed this job at one time, but I'm going to tell you what, some of these people don't want to listen. Students don't want to listen. How are you going to have people working for you if you don't even want to communicate or listen to them? And act as if when you make changes to a certain thing on the schedule or make changes to things at the school and don't want to notify anybody but other staff but the other person. Let's not forget I'm a doctoral student. I'm going to win my 24 credit case and win. I've won against the big banks. I've sued people. And trust me, I'm going to tell you what, if it comes down to it, I might sue the school district because, enough's enough. Enough's enough. I come in here every day, 7 a.m. You know what? It is time to stop making people mad. How about giving some common courtesy and respect to people? What can we do to help you, sir? Nope, can't do that. You just make sure that you blow off the subs, the people that are trying to come in there and cover for your people. I've had enough. I'm going to focus on my projects, focus on my business, get clients, succeed, and if the feedback doesn't keep on getting any better, then guess what? After spring break, hopefully we can be done with the subbing. Because I have to let my voice be heard on my podcast show because that's my way of doing it. And people are very hard not to get along with sometimes, or they're just plain difficult and stubborn-headed not to communicate with people to make jobs easier. And I remember plenty of times coming in for not the school that I just worked today, coming in early all the time, never late. And I sacrificed days of my business to come to this school and other schools as well. Teachers are having a heck of a hard time of feeling appreciated. How about making them feel appreciated? How about stop blowing off the people? They're actually working hard to get there and help your school out. It just seems like that's not happening anymore. I don't care if the person's poorly dressed. I don't care if the person's excellently dressed. You don't judge them on how they are. Okay? I had another 6-figure year. What did I just say? I had another 6-figure year. Got out of the jam with my taxes. $30,000 people owe me. If I get that paid, I'm back in business. These are tough times for a lot of people. And I'm just going to say this right now. It's no easier for me than it is for the principal in a school or anybody else. Certain schools, quit being blockheaded. Quit being blinded by the light. If there is feedback that is somebody giving you, change it. Whether it's the end of the marking period, hint, hint, hint. Okay, I'm done. I have a lot of successful projects going to be ahead here. So we're working on, like I said, the film presenters have not come back with anything. We're working on the podcast. We got several interview people. We're also going to talk about this school experience, because I'm going to tell you what, this is beyond the worst year I've ever had with dealing with kids. I mean, it's unbelievable. When you tell somebody that you're having a problem with something, you should learn how to fix it upper level. You are in there making the bigger bucks than me at this position. But it doesn't sound like you guys care. That goes for just about anywhere, except for a few of the schools. Anyways, I'm done with this interview. I'm going to be interviewed for my book from one of my lady workers here shortly. Hopefully later this week, maybe even tomorrow. I have to talk to them about it. We're going to set up another interview on this book. And then sky's the limit. And then this job can go kick the bucket. Because I'm going to tell you what, I've had enough of with people's stuff with being ignored. Totally. I've worked this hard to get this far. Nobody has a book. You want to belittle people? You want to sit there and act like it's no big deal? Get a life. You're jealous because you can't accomplish what I accomplished. There's 30 books out there. Yep, you know what? I didn't sell a lot of them, but they were just a hobby. And now I'm marketing them. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm a deep threat to go deep. Have a nice day.